What's cracking, everybody? It's your boy Squid Wino, aka King Calamari, aka Daddy Tentacles, and we are playing some Elder Scrolls Online. So you guys are probably looking at the title and like, hey, didn't he already put up a video about this? Yes, I did. The reason why I'm making another video is because I received some constructive criticism, thank you, that the video was too long. In addition, I did feel like I was missing some information out of the first one, so I feel like it's best to go ahead and, get that information in the revamp of video one. So this is part one of a three-part series covering how to build your character from scratch for PvP. In part one, we're going to cover choosing your alliance, race and class recommendation, best races for stamina builds, and best races for Magicka builds. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so we're here on the main screen. Main thing you should know here is when you start off, you can pick your gender, alliance, race, and class on this page. Gender doesn't matter so much. Pick whatever you feel, male or female, doesn't matter. Alliance is important because if you pick an alliance that is the opposite of what your friend picks, you'll be playing against them in PvP. So you definitely want to make sure you're picking the right alliance, right? As far as race goes, race matters depending on your class choice and whether you're deciding you want to go stamina or you want to go Magicka, right? So first thing first, we're going to go ahead and jump into classes. All right, so the first class we're going to start with is Dragonite. Main thing you should know about Dragonite is if you have ever watched a PvP video on YouTube or watched a stream or anything like that, and you've probably seen maybe 16, 17 people, maybe I'm exaggerating, 10 people, sometimes 17 actually, and a Zerg. Anyway, you've seen a lot of people beating on one particular person. Chances are it's a Dragonite, right? This is because it has a very, very strong ultimate that allows it to get all of its resources back upon using, or at least a lot of its resources back upon using the particular ultimate. So it is a very good class. It's the primary tanking class, even in PvE. So in PvP, a lot of people run different kind of builds with it, but it is very tanky due to its passives, right? That's basically what you should know about the Dragonite. Next up, we have the Sorcerer. Now, the Sorcerer is very strong. Stamina and Magicka is very strong in PvP. Magicka, Sorcerer in particular, even though you would think in a lot of MMOs, the Sorcerer, the Mage type class is, squishy and things like this. Well, in ESO, there are things called wards. Sorcerer has access to the strongest ward in the game. And so now, even a Magicka Sorcerer that's wearing all light armor can be extremely, extremely tanky. Can have multiple people hitting on this particular mage, and he's just very, very hard to kill due to the fact that the wards are so strong. Also, the damage, just like in other MMOs, the damage is extremely, extremely high on a Sorcerer, rivaling the Stamina Nightblade, and we'll cover that class next. Next up, we have the infamous Nightblade, right? This is your rogue class in ESO. Just like in other MMOs, the rogue class Nightblade hits extremely, extremely hard, but it is really, really squishy. It operates out of stealth. Stamina Nightblade is a little bit more squishy than Magicka Nightblade because Magicka Nightblade does have access to wards as well. But again, extremely hard-hitting class. If you want to play the stealthy type, Nightblade is the class you want to play as. Now we move on to the best class in the game. No, I'm just kidding. It's my personal favorite class, though. The Magicka Templar. They're Stamina Templar, but nobody cares about those guys. I'm completely joking. If you want to play the Stamina Templar, good for you. However, the Magplar, I think, is a bit better in PvP. This is because it does have access to Purge, as well as Stamina does have access to Purge, but the heal is very, very strong. The Templar specializes in healing spells, so that can be difficult for players that don't know how to counter the Magicka Templar's great healing abilities. But one of the cons is that it's very low mobility, though. very low mobility. You almost have to always play as a vampire so you can get access to Vampire Mist, which allows you a little bit more mobility. It's very difficult to play a Magicka Templar in PvP without that particular ability because you are not as mobile as other classes. And now we move on to the final class, which is the Warden. This is the pet class, although Sorcerer does have access to pets as well. Now, this class in PvP, Magicka and Stamina is extremely strong, really high burst, especially from the Stamina Warden. The only issue I kind of find with the Warden is against good players, it can be hard to line up burst. Unlike Stamina Nightblade and Magicka Nightblade and Sorcerer, who have single target burst abilities, Stamina Warden and Magicka Warden, they rely heavily on Deep Fissure and Subterranean Assault. Now, these two skills hit very hard. However, they are not single target abilities. They act more like cone abilities, meaning they hit things within the cone, right? So if you don't get hit by these abilities, you're generally in good shape. However, if you get hit in particular by a Stamina using one of these abilities, then it can pretty much be game over because they can 3-combo you into a Dawnbreaker, heavy attack, and execute. Pretty much over after that if Subterranean Assault does connect. So congratulations, you've chosen your class, right? Now you have to decide whether you want to be Magicka or whether you want to be Stamina. If you choose Magicka, there are 4 classes that I highly recommend choosing and staying within if you decide to play a Magicka-based character. First up, we got Breton. Breton is a good choice for those people who want to play a character that might be slightly tanky, right? Good choice of race if you want to build a tanky Magicka Templar just because of the bonus and spell resistance. However, in addition to that, it does have good Magicka recovery, bonus to light armor gain, which is helpful while leveling, as well as max Magicka, right? Bonus to max Magicka, and alliance point gain, which is part of PvP, right? Also known as AP. Next up on our list, we have High Elf, right? Very strong choice for a Magicka-based class, particularly because of the high base Magicka stat pool, as well as the high Magicka recovery, and they get a bonus in electric, frost, and fire damage. So you'll see a lot of people that have or run sorcerers will run a High Elf for this particular reason. I mean, it's just a great class overall, great base stats. Next up, we got Dark Elf. So Dark Elf is another solid choice for those individuals that are looking to play a Magicka class with some resistance to fire, right? Meaning they're probably going to play as a vampire. In addition to that, they do an increased amount of fire damage. So a Magicka class that would benefit a Dark Elf most likely would be Dragon Knight, because a lot of their moves are fire based. So having this innate boost to fire damage is very good. Last but certainly not least, we do have Argonian, my personal favorite, because it is the sustain monster, right? So it may not boast the damage that a High Elf has, but it does have the best sustain hands down for all Magicka classes, in particular just because of the potion passive, which is extremely strong. It allows you to drink 1 potion, right? Doesn't matter if it's Magicka, Stamina, or Health, right? And you'll get all 3 stat pools. You'll get some resources back in all 3 of them. So that right there is extremely powerful. It gives them bonuses to healing, which makes Argonian hands down the best healing race. Although people might make an argument for High Elf. And then you get healing received, so the healing that you get back, I mean, is great. Again, awesome choice for a Templar. And you do have the poison resistance and swimming speed, which you need. I'm kidding. You don't need swimming speed. It's the most stupid passive. Zos, please do something and get rid of that worthless ass passive. Thank you. So to recap really quick, we do have Argonian, we have High Elf, Dark Elf, and Breton. Those are your 4 classes to choose if you are going Magicka. Don't choose any of the other classes. It's not worth it. Trust me. Now we're going to discuss the best stamina races that you possibly could choose for a stamina-based class. The first one that we're going to talk about in particular is the Red Guard, right? Hands down, probably the best one that you could choose, simply because of the bonus it gets in stamina regeneration, the bonus it gets in overall stamina, stamina regeneration during combat, and the effects it gets from food. Right? So extended duration of food, right? So no bad passes for the Red Guard, making it probably the #1 choice, hands down. Next, we are going to discuss the ugliest race in ESO, the Orc. Now, you may think the Orc is beautiful. I, however, do not. But it doesn't matter because they're still really a great choice for a stamina-based class, right? This is because they get bonuses in heavy armor, health regeneration. They also get bonuses in healing received, stamina, and in melee attacks. Also, they are the quickest race that you can pick because they do have bonus in sprinting. So, excellent class. It's not as good as the Red Guard when it comes to sustain, but it is going to hit a lot harder than a Red Guard is going to hit. Next up, we have the Nord. All right. If you're going for a more tanky build, I suggest using a Nord or an Imperial, who will pretty much cover that race here in a bit. But because of the resistance to incoming damage, right? They also have a good base health, right? High base health, health regeneration, and frost resistance. And they do also get a bonus to stamina. Next up, we have the Frodo Baggins of ESO, the Wood Elf. Shortest character or race in the game. But they do have good recovery, right? Good stamina base and a good stamina recovery. Also, they get bonuses in stealth, which is quite helpful if you're playing the Nightblade. They do get reduced fall damage and disease resistance. And yeah, that's pretty much it, right? But they are a good class if you want to go Nightblade. In particular, if you're going to go like a Snipe Blade. If you're not going Snipe Blade and you still want to play Nightblade stamina version, I suggest this next race here. Khajiit is by far my favorite race in Elder Scrolls series, period. Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, it doesn't matter. I really do like the Khajiit. However, it is not good for Magicka classes. However, if you're playing a Nightblade or Stamina Blade in particular, the Khajiit is a great class. It gets bonuses to pickpocketing, which is great if you want to roleplay or actually make some money in PvE. Stealth gets bonuses to stealth, stamina recovery, and weapon damage. In addition to that, it does get a line of crit, which makes it very good straight out of stealth. The hardest hitting stamina class out of stealth for a Nightblade is going to be your Khajiit. And last but not least, we have the American. Well, as you can see, it doesn't say the American, but it's implied in the passives, right? The Imperial, right? Perseverance in battle, giving them bonuses to gold drop. Greedy. Shields, health, and stamina. In all seriousness, it's an excellent race if you want to be a stamina-based tank, followed closely by the Nord. And if you want to go Magicka tank, Argonian is an excellent choice for that. Yeah. So that's going to be it for part 1 of the 3-part series as it pertains to building your character for PvP. In part 2, we're basically going to be covering attribute distribution, light, heavy, or medium when it comes to armor, front bar, back bar combos, top PvP weapon skills, and the best traits for armor when it comes to PvP. I hope you liked the content. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know you liked it. If you didn't like it, if you hated it, let me know you hated it. But tell me why you didn't like it so I can improve, right? Other than that, man, thanks for watching. And I will see you guys on my stream. I do stream. And you can check that out in the description. Thanks for watching. See you when I see you.
No, we don't play games, except when we play games. Well, now, finessing my campaign. My squad in the party, you know that that's gang. Well, you see my KD, I'm not talking KD. Well, now, we not on the same team, you not in the same stream.